Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, I hope you're having a fantastic day and a great start to your weekend. My name is Teresa and I love all things makeup, beauty and skincare. So on the weekends I like to hang out with you guys and talk about the newest releases in that category. Now there is a caveat in that I don't talk about all of the new releases because frankly there's too many. So we try to pare them down into the stuff that is a little bit more newsworthy. So to do that you guys have been tagging me, emailing me, DMing me, etc. A huge thank you to all of you. Your names are being displayed right now. Without you guys there would be no episode and it would be weird and it would be awkward. A massive thank you as always to my YouTube community members. I mean, I struggle each week to kind of think about what to say here because thank you feels a little bit like not quite enough. So I don't know. Insert whatever gratitude etc that we can put in here. It is what it is. Anyways, we do actually have quite a few things to talk about, but this is the point where I remind you to hydrate, and this is our mug du jour, and it's my gorgeous little Winnie the Pooh one, and it says see the good in all things on the inside, which is nice, and it's quite relevant because the good is the tea that's inside it. So make sure that you hydrate, get your snacks, and we'll just jump straight on into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is Joocyee. So this is actually available over on Look Healthy Store. It's also available on C Beauty Mall. I'm a terrible affiliate. Will tell you it's a little bit cheaper over on Look Healthy Store, but sometimes you can find these on like AliExpress, etc. Anyways, these are their Smoky eyeshadow palettes. They're $29.90 each, and there's 3 different styles. So there's number 15, which is Pink Night, number 16, which is Wooden Cement, and number 17, which is Pink Dunes, which begs the question, what exactly is wooden cement? But there you go. They kind of oscillate between being 10 grams for Pinky Night and 11 grams for Wooden Cement and Pink Dune, and they're available right now. So obviously they have 8 shades in them and they do look quite pretty. Like they're nothing like wild or insane. Let's talk about the first one, which is Pinky Night. I think for me that's the most interesting one. Like those pinks look so beautiful. There's something a little bit gothic about that. Now I will say I have a few Joocyee singles and they are really good, and I feel like the price of $29.90 is not bad at all. The thing that slightly bugs me is like the weird pan shapes etc, but you know what, I'll get over that. Look at that white. Am I insane? But look at that white. It is so good. Like Trixie Mattel wishes she could do that sort of a white. It is so good. Actually, this feels like a Trixie palette. Is that a weird thing to say? It feels like a Trixie palette. And then you see it on the eye, and it's exactly what we've kind of seen with K Beauty, C Beauty, etc. It's just really ethereal. It's not wildly complicated looks, because you're not going to get wildly complicated looks from an 8-pan palette, but they are absolutely beautiful. Now, what I appreciate here is that even on the eye, you can see that some of them have really like bigged up the black, and then others have kind of really blended it out. So it shows just how blendable it is. For me, that palette in particular is just mwah. It's fantastic. I think it's because my slightly gothic emo heart really enjoys it. The next one then is Wooden Cement, and if I'm 100% honest, I don't think they needed to do Wooden Cement and Pink Dune, which by the way there's no pink in Pink Dune, but it is what it is. But Wooden Cement, it's fine. There's a nice kind of deep blacky brown in there as well. It's very warm toned, it's very safe, and you know, absolutely nothing wrong with that. People are going to enjoy it. It's very wearable, etc. It looks gorgeous on the eyes. Again, just under $30, so it's not gonna like break the bank. But obviously if I'm looking at this versus the previous palette to me is just a little bit more interesting. And then when you compare it to the next one, I don't know about you, but maybe it's me, but I'm like, these look quite similar. I'm not saying that they're duping each other. They're not at all. There's like a smidgen more pinkiness in this, and this one has like one more shimmer that the other one doesn't have. But I personally feel like they didn't need to have the 2 of those palettes. I think they should have just shown one of them, and it should have been this one, because I think this one is slightly more interesting than the previous one. Like the previous one is kind of like, okay, we've seen that. And again, even on the eye, it looks really pretty, very wearable. And I think having that contrast between the more like gothic-y looking makeup and then the natural everyday is really interesting, at least to me. I think it's quite nice. So as I said, I have some Joocyee stuff, mostly singles, and my goodness, I remember showing them actually to my YouTube community members months ago and being like, these are really good. I obviously did not discover them. My friend Daniela was like, here, you need to try these. And everyone needs a friend like Daniela who will open up the world to things, because she's like a little magpie. She just finds things that I would have never considered. But I was really blown away by both their shimmers and their matte formula. And I've kind of been saying this, C Beauty, K Beauty, they're kind of just a step up in that regard. So you know what? I don't think this is bad. I think actually, all things considered, this is the sort of thing that would make a perfect gift for somebody. Or it might be like a really good staple palette to have. I'm thinking of gifts because it's Mother's Day weekend this weekend. So I'd never get an eyeshadow palette from my mother. She has no interest. She's like, I want runners. And I'm like, cool. Trainers, sneakers for you guys. But yeah, I think it's really pretty. I don't personally need it, but I think it looks gorgeous. This next one, Colourpop and Toy Story. Who would have seen that happening? Now, I did, just before I sat down to film, I saw like a Facebook ad, because of course I did, and it was somebody doing Colourpop Toy Story inspired makeup. But they were doing so much around like using graphic liner that it would make you think that there were graphic liners in this. There is not. There's a few things, but there's not that. So there's the Toys Are Here eyeshadow palette for $24, the Play All Day Jelly Much eyeshadow trio. So there's 3 of those for $27. The ultra glossy lips, they're $10 each. They come in the shades Buzzin' About, Favorite Deputy, Peep This, and Yeehaw. But you can bundle these together for $36, so you'll save a walloping $4. Wow! The BFF mascara in Roar, which is actually really adorable, for $12. And of course, they have a lip mask, the Chosen One, in Sour Candy, and that's $12. Now, if you want the full thing, it's available for $99. Let us discuss the eyeshadow palette first. I have to say, I totally get this color story. Like, it makes sense to me. I get where everything is coming from. And you know what? It doesn't look bad. I have major trust issues, however, with their swatches. I know this sounds terrible, but I don't believe them. I don't believe them. And I'm like, you're computer generated, aren't you, you little ghost? That being said, though, I feel like that shade Rex Flex is actually kind of interesting. Like, I don't hate it. It doesn't look like it's as pale as some of their previous palettes, because Colourpop are terrible in terms of their palettes, and just having them be really, really pale and just not flattering on deeper skin tones at all. So I'd be more interested to see looks on this with people. The price tag isn't bad at all. Like, it is what it is. For me, however, I can't foresee myself getting anything from Colourpop probably the next, we'll just say hypothetically, 4 years. It's not that I'm directly kind of making a choice not to buy anything from American companies, but like with a 25% tariff, it's, you know, it is what it is. So even though that may seem okay, like it's $24 now, by the time it would be sold to me, it'd then be $30, and that's before we get to like taxes and duties, etc. So it just stops kind of being affordable for me. The color story, it's fine, it makes sense, I get it with the IP. I just would kind of struggle to put something together with it, and that's all right. Like, I'm just not wildly creative, and that is what it is. In terms of the Jelly Much shadows, they look really cute. Like, I have to say, I like the colours on that. There's something a little bit more millennial about these than necessarily Toy Story. Again, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. As per usual, the swatches, I don't trust them. However, they did have some looks on the eye, which I do appreciate. Now, obviously, they've kind of tapped them out to not be at like full wabam, which I personally like, because that's how a lot of people would wear them. And they look fine. Fine. You know? Do I think they're $27 worth of fine? Not really. Sorry. Like, I know that sounds really mean, but I also think like by the time they get on the eyes, those two pinks, even though they look so different in the jar, the container, you know, you won't see that much of a difference on the eye. It feels like there's a mixture between the deep pink and then the more whitey shade to make that pale pink in the middle, which is fine, but I don't care. And I like Toy Story. When I say I like Toy Story, I haven't watched it in years, but like I don't sit here with like a burning, seething hatred of Toy Story. I'm like, it's grand. There's nothing negative about it, but it just isn't for me, and that's grand. In terms of the lip glosses, they look tiny. Is that just me? Like, they look really small. What's going on there? And they're like, what, $10 each? So are we just paying for packaging? What's happening? The shades, they're fine. They're grand. But the thing is with gloss, they're normally so transparent that by the time they get onto the lips, you don't really see much of an impact. And even here, they've shown it on the lips. And could I tell you which one is which? Probably not. I mean, I think I have a fair idea that the top right one is the purple one. And then outside of that, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the bottom right is like the red. But I'm gonna have to try and guess between the two left ones as to which one is the yellow and which one is the pink. I can't tell at a quick eyeball, and that's from somebody who's like obsessed with makeup. So frankly, we don't need all of them. This is just sheerly, if you love the IP, you want to grab them all. Like, that's a weird mixture between Pokemon and Toy Story. That's what they're really going for, is people's like nostalgia. And I mean, okay, fair enough, but I just think it's a bit lazy. You only needed one gloss. You could have done like lip stuff or even eyeliners, done those creative eyeliners. That would have been kind of cool. That would have made more sense. I do like the mascara. I think it's really cute. But they've also shown it on the eye, and can I be 100% honest? I'm more intrigued by whatever that kind of metallic-y eyeliner is. I'm like, what is that? I have a funny feeling it's one of their duochromes, to which I'm like, okay, I like that. But the packaging on this is super cute, and I always liked the dinosaur because I love dinosaurs. I was in Woody's the other day and they had like this little plant dinosaur thing, and I had to actually be like, no, don't get this. You don't need this. But there was a lot of me that was kind of going, yeah. Now, I'm not going bananas over mascara. I have shit lashes. It just is what it is. And while it looks fabulous on her lashes, and I love the idea of coloured lashes, it just never works out for me because I have shit lashes. So it is what it is. Then finally, the lip mask. It's really funny because they're like 2 flavours in one, but it isn't really because it's sour candy. Like, it's all mixed. Like, and it's like, how can it be 2 flavours in one when it's like mixed like that? By the time it gets onto your lips, it's gonna, I don't care. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I don't care. I don't get excited about lip masks. I use them, don't get me wrong. I won't say like I love a lip mask, but I use them because I have like angular cheilitis and all of these things. So I do just have to use them, you know? I'm a victim of my own body. My body does not function in the way that I need it to. The packaging is doing the most, like even the outside cardboard packaging, very cute. The actual little container comes in, adorable. But beyond that, meh, you know? In all, the collection is fine. That's where it is on a scale of like 0 to amazing. It's very, very clearly in the fine region. Do I feel that my life would be improved by having this? Nah, no, it wouldn't. It's grand. I know there's a lot of people that do tend to buy like nostalgic stuff. Like I like a bit of nostalgic stuff, but I have been learning over the last couple of years to try and curtail myself because I do have major impulse control issues. Hey, autism, and obviously fixating on stuff that I'm interested in. But I think I'm quite fortunate in this, in that even though I have positive memories of Toy Story, it's not one of those ones that I'm like super fixated on. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, I must have this. And even though I loved Pokemon, I didn't end up getting anything from the Pokemon Colourpop collection. So I do feel like I've made a lot of progress in my own way. I know that I'm still like ridiculous, but in my way, it's a huge amount of progress. Yeah, there's nothing about this that appeals to me. I feel like it could have been edited a little bit more. The eyeshadow palette is probably the most interesting, but even then I wouldn't get a lot of use out of it. I'd have to pick up other things because I can't figure out how to get everything to cohere. Like, the colour story makes sense for the IP, but then doesn't make sense as an eyeshadow palette, if you know what it is that I mean. Packaging, really, really good, but I feel like the stuff that's inside of it has not been thought through completely. Which is just a lot of what we see when it comes to IPs. But yeah, it's just not for me, and that's okay. But what is for me? Oh my god. F you Gloss Gods and the horse that you effing rode in on. When was the last time the Gloss Gods came out with something that I was like, oh, I can pass on this? I can't remember it. And I'm annoyed with them because I'm trying to be a bit more sensible. And then they're like, here you go. Here's a palette with some greens and purples. Excuse me, did you like specifically make this to target me? Because I love greens and purples together. This is beautiful. Right, this is coming out March 26th. The Dancing Lights palette is going to be €56.95. But they also have 2 pigments. There's a purpley toned pigment, which is called Sky Dancer. That's going to be €17.95. And then there's Glacial Lights pigment, which is going to be €17.95. But if you're like me and you're a greedy bee, I want the whole goddamn thing, $79 or €71.95. Yeah, it's already decided excited. I'm getting it. Like, and I don't even try to talk me out of it. I will bite you. I'm so excited about this. We'll also say I'm a disgusting affiliate with the brand. If you use my code Teresa, you get some money off, blah, 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 whatever. I can't cope with this. This is exactly the colour story that I'm interested in. I'm going to talk about the eyeshadow palette first because F it, why not? Look at it even on the eye. Look at it on the, like, look at it on the eye. This is the thing, right? Any Gloss Gods palette I have, the shades in them are truly glossy. Like, I can't think of any other brand that gives me like that metallic-y duochrome that is like a gloss. It's so strange. Like, I can't think of anything else that gives me the exact same thing. And anytime that I wear any of their palettes, the compliments I get, now it's not like about, oh, the compliments, because fuck it, I wear makeup for myself, but my god, they are incredible. I love the mixture of lighter shades and deeper shades in here. I think this is beautiful. The more I'm trying to like think about this from a logical point of view, like there's a few shades even here that I'm like, I could see this working with some of their previous palettes. I don't think they're duping them out, but there's a few shades here that I'm like, oh, I could see this working with the Touch of Rain palette and the Lavender Skies palette, which I'm personally quite happy about. And then obviously they have their little Colourpop palettes, like the greens and the pinks, etc. And I feel like you could maybe bring those in. That being said though, it's definitely a standalone palette, but I think it can be augmented by their existing palettes as well. Look at those swatches. Look at them with your eyeballs. Like, you're looking at a lot of really interesting metallics, but then out and out duochrome multichromes. Oh, look, like I said, I've talked myself into it. I know it's happening. Thankfully, I just got paid today, so I'm going to put that €72 aside to get this. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't. I think this is very logical for me. And normally I'm not into pigments, but the pigments are gorgeous. And any of their pigments I have, I really, really enjoy. So I'm like, that's a safe bet. I am so excited about this. So excited. I've already like decided this is happening. Even the greens are like more cool toned greens, like more blue toned, and I think that's quite interesting. Yeah, it's happening. I'm so sorry, but it is happening. This is going to be purchased. I'll do a swatching Sundays with it. It's going to happen. Beautiful. I absolutely love this. I have absolutely no notes for them other than why is it not in my greasy little paws right now. The pigments, I want to talk about the pigments too. I love the way that they've swatched these because obviously they've done it with like a clear base so that you could see what it would look like if you just kind of swiped it on the eye, which by the way, ethereal, gorgeous, beautiful. I want to look like a fairy that has come out of the woods. That's what they look like. But they've also shown it on a black base, which I am obsessed with. I love it when brands do that because it's giving us more of an idea as to the versatility of it. That looks much more metallic in its formulation, so you're kind of seeing a little bit of the diversity around that. So like I said, even though I don't normally get into pigments, I really enjoy their pigments and I hate myself for it, but yeah, it's happening. I'm getting this whole collection and there's nothing you can do to stop me, and I do not feel bad about this. I was trying to think, when did they do their last collection? Their last collection was like around Christmas time because they had kind of the sneak peek with the advent calendar, and I had gotten like the molten metal stuff, and that was fabulous. That was beautiful, and I love that they went from that molten metals to this. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that was such a, not a safe, but like one size fits all. Like, most people will get something out of neutrals, and then just juxtaposing this against it, I just think this is so much fun. Absolutely love this. So excited. It's happening. I'm buying it. You can't stop me. Do you notice how many times I'm saying you can't stop me? I don't know why. Why do I think that somebody's going to come to my house, take my laptop away from me and be like, no, none for you, Glen Coco. I have whole feelings on this, and even my friend Daniela like messaged me and she was like, look at this, and I was like, I know, I am being personally victimized by Gloss Gods on this because these are exactly the colours that I'm interested in, the greens and the purples. Call me Joker, but I effing love it. I'm excited about it. It's probably like my favourite release for this week. And isn't that nice? Isn't it nice to have something I'm excited about? I like that for me. We then have Shellwe, and they have 2 3-color highlighter and contour palettes, and there's something about this that is giving me Kaleidos. Do you remember Kaleidos did like a 3-pan highlighter contour palette, I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago, and this feels very similar, just saying. So they come in 2 shades. There's Lilith or there's Luperca, and it's €19.19 over on Look Healthy Store. You can obviously buy it over on CBT Mall. I'm an affiliate, but it is more expensive over there. I'm the worst affiliate ever, but I also just don't want you spending money unnecessarily. I don't care if I don't get a commission from it. I just would prefer it if you get your money's worth. You get 13 grams of product. Now, this is what I find quite interesting. So Luperca is suitable for olive skin, fair skin, and cool skin tones. Now, it's very difficult to find anything for olive skin, so I think that's quite interesting. The pink-white shade brightens the tear trough, and both contour shades are cool grey, which is interesting. Then Lilith is suitable for neutral skin and natural skin, as opposed to fake skin. Don't know what that's meant to mean. The nose shadow shade is neutral grey and not too green. The yellow-brown green tone is just right. The dark shade has a little bit of warm tone. It's a brand new texture. It's more skin friendly, and it will apparently give you a better experience, and is waterproof and can fit your skin well. I do think this is not a bad one. Now, my major issue here, I think you know what it is that I'm going to say. 2? Really? 2 contour highlighter palettes. Pretty sure we have more skin tones than that. I'd like to see a greater expansion beyond just that. Now, I do absolutely 100% appreciate that they actually have a palette there for olive skin tones, because it is impossible to find anything for olive skin tones. So I appreciate that. I again respect that they are more C beauty, K beauty, so they are just by virtue of that demographic more likely to cater towards fair skin tones, even though there are people of a varying skin color everywhere in the world. But I get that that's kind of what that whole market does. I'd personally just like to see it expanded on. I do, however, feel that $19.19 or €19.19, apologies, €19.19 for one contour highlighter palette is actually not bad at all. Like, that's working out at €6.40 per shade. I think the artwork is really interesting. It's quite cool. The swatches look really interesting. I can see that difference there. And they do look like they're proper contour palettes. You know my feelings on people saying that things are contour when they're not actually contour. I don't want to say it's a trigger because that's like such a big word, but I get annoyed about it. I'm like, guys, that's not what contour is. But this is a legit contour palette and it looks pretty nice. I have gotten a few things from Shellwe. I think that their quality is really, really good. So I'm not against this. Like I said, I am hoping that what they do from this, because they are a relatively new brand, that they take whatever profits they get from this, whatever feedback that they get from this. I do hope that they take that and go to making greater diversity when it comes to complexion products. Because frankly, I think in 2025, we don't have much excuse to not be doing that. I'm not saying you have to have 50 contour palettes, but I think at a minimum you should be going for the lightest and then have the deepest in there, and maybe have 3 in between. Do you know what I mean? Particularly when it's a powder and you can like build it up. Yeah, that's just my major issue on that. I'm hoping it is something that they will address going forward, but I don't hate it, and the price point is not bad at all. Nabla also just released their Glassified collection, and there's a couple of different things in it. Mostly they have a new 4-pan palette. It's in the style Opal. There's 4 new shades of eyeshadow, one of which is a glitter, and then they have 3 Cupid's arrows, which are more metallic-y in shade, and they're available right now. So they vary in price from €8.95 for the shade Moonflower, which is a glitter and indigo, magenta and peach lime duochrome fine glitter, which is quite interesting. And then the other shades are all kind of duochrome-y stuff. They're €13 each. Now, here's the thing. If you wanted to get the Opal palette and the 4 shadows in them, like you can pop them in, it's €47.95. But you are smart people and you're not going to do that, because they also have the Liberty X full set Glassified edition, which is just the palette and the 4 shadows, but it comes with a cute little puffy bag for €43. So you would get a free bag and you'd save €4.95. You're welcome. That's what you'll do. They also have their Cupid's Arrow, a long wear multifunctional stylo, €20. And there's 3 different shades. So there's Arrow Shine Bronzy, Arrow Shine Crystalline, and Arrow Shine Amira. I feel like Arrow Shine Crystalline is the most interesting because that's a peach champagne reflect on a transparent base in sparkle finish. Now, if you wanted to get the full thing, as in the palette, the 4 shadows, and the 3 Cupid's Arrows, that's €87, so it's not bad at all. My major issue, obviously, with Nabla at the moment is they're tricky to get. You have to get them on Nabla Cosmetics themselves because they only have a few of their bits over on Beauty Bay, and it drives me nuts. I love the look of this. Like, I hate how much I love the look of this. I'm going to talk about the shadows first because fuck it, it's my channel. I can do what I like. Look at them. Look at them with your eyeballs. Even look at that glitter, like Moonflower. Ah, I have a few of their glitters and I will say they're absolutely gorgeous. I don't care that, you know, they say, if you're over such and such an age, you shouldn't wear glitter. F you. I'll wear what I want. Thank you very much. That looks stunning. They've also swatched it on the arm and I love that they've shown it in like low lighting so I can see all the sparkles and the beautiness of it. Ah, fabulous, fabulous. Every time they come out with these little mini curated things, I just get filled with want, but I've been so good and I haven't gone off and gotten them. So I'm like, I feel like it's personal growth, but even seeing them on the eye, I think that's really, really helpful. They look so beautiful. There's something very editorial about it. You know, I think this is the sort of stuff that is great for people who want a more curated collection and they don't want to have like 1,000,001 things. This is going to be the thing for them. Do you know what I mean? I think it's so pretty. I love that green. Of course I love that green. At least I'm consistent in what I like, and even that glitter. It's so beautiful. I really want to tap that glitter out on top of the others. Like, I really wanted to see them do that, but I couldn't find anything on that. I've been spending too much time on Swatching Sundays tapping things out onto other things to see how they interact, and now I'm like, I want other people to do this, please. They look gorgeous. They do. And I feel like if you were getting all 4 of those with the little bag for €43, I don't feel like that's bad. I mean, it is expensive, but you have to remember it's also an Italian formula, so it's going to be that bit more expensive. Again, anything I have from Nabla, I think they're really, really good in terms of their eyeshadows. So I don't really have any like major args against it. I actually think it's really nice. And like I said, if I had the cash flow, if money was no object, I can't even imagine what that would be like. I would probably get the full set because I'm stupid, because even those little stylos, I love how they've kind of paired them with like the eye looks, etc. They look so beautiful. I love the mixture of like the browns, the reds, and like I said, that kind of crystalline one which has that transparent base. That's really, really interesting to me. So I feel like you could probably use that as like a highlighter, and they are saying like it's a multifunctional stylo. You can use it for lots of different things. Like you can use it obviously as an eyeliner, you could use it as an eyeshadow, you could use it as a lip base if that's what you wanted, you could use it as like a blush, blah blah blah. You know my feelings on things that are multifunctional. I lose my mind over it, and I feel like €20 for that is not bad. Obviously, if you're interested in the whole lot, the full collection makes the most sense in that you get the greatest savings, you get a cute little bag, which is, by the way, very 2000s. And I love that they keep calling it Liberty X, and I'm Irish and all I can think of is that UK band Liberty X. And I don't know if any of you who are outside of the UK and Ireland know what it is that I'm talking about, but my goodness, it was a thing at the time. I love this. I really do. I think it's stunning. But I'm really, I hate this about myself. I'm really bad at buying from a singular brand. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm really bad at going onto one brand's website and just getting that stuff. Because in my stupid little brain, I go, well, if I'm going there, I should get several things to quote unquote make it worth my time, which is such a stupid way of looking at things. But it is the way that I'm looking at things, and let me be honest with you. I wish this was available on Beauty Bay. Do you know what I mean? Because then I'd kind of sooner get it that way than through their own website, which again is really stupid, but I like it. I think it's really pretty. It's nicely curated. They don't come out with like 1,000,001 things. I appreciate that it's all like little palettes, etc. I kind of miss when they did bigger palettes. I'd love for them to do that again, but I think this is really nice. I don't hate it, but I just wish it was more available for me. I talked about this last week and it was more of like a sneak peek, but now we have more information on this. This is Urban Decay. It's their 24/7 Glaze-On liquid eyeshadow. They say it offers a revolutionary approach. I think we've forgotten what revolutionary is, but there you go. To eye makeup with our unique, long-lasting formula. I mean, that sounds relatively interesting. It applies in seconds with built-in brush for instant, effortless blending. Shake to activate. There's something very 2000s about that. I don't know why, but it's making me think that. Crease and fade resistant. Interesting, interesting. Are we sure? Are we sure? Because I have hooded eyelids and that's one of my major issues with liquid shadows is the creasing. And it's fine, like look, that's just my eyes, that's what they do. I'm not gonna get annoyed at myself over that, but it does impact things. Potentially interesting. Achieve a shimmering eye look with this liquid glitter eyeshadow. You had me at glitter. I love glitter. Enjoy up to 15 hours of vibrant crease-free wear with this eyeshadow that wears all day. I don't hate the sound of this. I don't. $26, it's not bad. Now, do I love every colour? No, because I'm not insane. There's definitely some colours in my mind that are way more interesting than others. Do you want to have a little guess as to which ones I find interesting? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sunshine Tax and Frost Boss. Those are the two that I want. The rest are fine, but those are the two that I really, really like. They're very 2000s as well. There's something about this. I quite like the fact that Urban Decay are getting back into their roots, and I appreciate the fact that they've shown this on the eye. Let's go through each shade because fuck it, why not? Frost Boss. Do you see why I like this? Absolutely love the look of this. However, and I'm going to critique this right now, they're saying that it's crease free, etc. Could you show me this on a model that has hooded eyelid, please? Because these gorgeous, beautiful models do not have hooded eyelids. If your whole thing is around being crease free, etc., show it on that, and show it on older models. These ones look very young, you know? Show it on people who are over a particular age. If that's your whole selling point, sell it to me. They then have silver spooning. I mean, that's fine. It's kind of what you would expect. It's very safe. Not bad. Like, I don't hate it. They then have, of course, Space Cowboy Intense. I love how there's so many brands that just have their own thing. You know, NARS has Orgasm, Charlotte Tilbury has Pillow Talk, and Urban Decay has Space Cowboys. You know, like, could we have a collection where they're not doing that? I don't know. Maybe it's impossible for them. Maybe they have some sort of a contract with Space Cowboys. It's fine. I don't think it's actually very interesting as a shade. Then they have Sugar Twist. They tried to make this thing over on their website kind of being like, oh, 93% of people said that this was very flattering for their skin tone. Okay, fair enough. I personally don't think it's that interesting of a shade, but the shade Sunshine Tax, particularly on a deeper skin tone, you cannot, don't even talk to me about that. Look at that. Like, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. I'm going to be a right bitch here. I'm going to say they should have just come out with the two that were really interesting. Is that awful? Am I awful? I am awful. But that's the way that I look at it. Again, they haven't really shown the crease proof thing. I do like the shade Traffic Jam though. I think that's quite interesting. I'd like that as a base and smoke it out. There's something very gothic about it and I don't hate it, you know? I like this. I'm going to say it. I do. I like it. A lot more than I thought I was going to like it. I think because I've always had this in the back of my mind that I want to root for Urban Decay. They were my first experience of really interesting makeup, and I think I imprinted on them like a little gosling, and I just want to see them doing well, and just seeing this reminds me of old school stuff, and I'm happy about it. I do. I like this. Do I like all of it? No. But you know what? That's growth for me. We're happy about that for me. Yeah, I like this. I might end up getting one or two particularly. I want to check that whole crease proof thing, right? And I'm going to say it right now. If it isn't crease proof, I'm going to be annoyed. And not because, like, I'd expect it or be like, grr, I don't like creases. But if that's your whole selling point, don't use it as a selling point. I'm just very confused about how they haven't shown it in that way, if that's their whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit strange. Then, of course, they couldn't sleep. They were like, let us do another product. This is their naked eyeshadow stick. So I was wrong in that I said that they have their Space Cowboy stuff. Yeah, they also have their naked stuff. Put some clothes on, Urban Decay, quite frankly. I don't think this is necessarily a bad one. It's an eyeshadow stick. The main thing that I'm thinking about here is not as an eyeshadow stick, but maybe as like a primer. I think that is where it could potentially be interesting. It's available in 8 shades. They again say it's crease proof and fade proof for up to 6 hours. I don't hate it. It's $25. It was over on Ulta Beauty. So it's coming out March 23rd. And actually, as you're watching, it should be available online. They're fine. Like the shades, as I said, I wouldn't necessarily be thinking about them in terms of eyeshadow sticks, but there's a few of these that are a little bit more primary. However, there's more of a metallic thing, and I'm like, lads, I think you missed a trick and should have done some matte ones on this to have it be more primer-esque. I mean, think about Sigma. I really like Sigma's primer as well, but they don't have like a true white one, which is why I constantly go back to the MAC one. That's a really good product. Why did they not also double this as being like a primer? I think that's a slightly missed opportunity. So do you see what I mean when they're swatched out? Like the shade Top Off, that's really metallic-y. It's grand, like don't get me wrong, I'm sure it'll look beautiful on the eye. And there's a few of these actually, when I see them on the eye, I'm like, okay, all is forgiven. I actually quite like these. I don't hate them. So, you know, there's a few of them also that I'm like, and I'm fairly certain that a few of these are actually taken from names from previous Naked palettes. Like I know there's Innocent. There was definitely an Innocent shade, but they've added an S in there because I don't know. They're trying to do the NARS thing of like, oh, we're so naughty. It's like, lads, just don't. We have the shade Blurred Out. I don't hate this. This is very cool toned. It's quite interesting. Again, you could use that as like a primer type thing. I'd personally like something that's a little bit more white, but again, that's my own preferences. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the shade Exposed. That's just for me. However, I'm gonna say this right now. Look at this one. They have shown us models with creases in their eyes and they have hoods. Thank you. Thank you. If your whole thing is that it's going to be crease proof, you're showing us here. Thank you. I believe you now. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Then we have Peach Bum. It's okay as a shade. Nothing to like write home about. It does feel very like 2000s. It's grand. Then we have Private Album. Again, grand. Nothing. Like, would I spend $25 on that? No. I'm going to be frank with you. I wouldn't. Like, I don't think it's worth it. Innocent is actually quite interesting. I don't hate that. I think that's actually quite interesting as like a creamy eyeshadow stick. I'd like to see that. I don't hate that one. I think that's quite interesting. The one that's got me though is Tasteful. Oh, excuse me? See how that's like smoked out? That's beautiful. I like that. I feel like that one in particular would be very, very popular with people because it would be a really nice, easy one to kind of translate a look from like day to night if that's what you're interested in. We then have Toasty. Again, I know that's definitely from their original Naked palettes, etc. I'm fairly certain it's the exact same shade. It's fine, don't really care. And the final shade is Top Off, which is the palest shade, but it's again a metallic, which so 2000s. There's a lot actually this week that is making me think of the 2000s, and it's really strange for me. All in all, I don't think it's necessarily a bad one. I think there's an interesting idea there, but it's not marketed correctly and the shades are not really what they could be. I think if they came out with some lighter shades or some more like impactful shades, that could be genuinely interesting. If it could double up as being a primer and maybe like some more interesting bits, you know, like how Nabla has their stylo. If they did something like that, that could be relatively interesting. I'm gonna give them like a solid 5 out of 10. You know, I think it'll do okay, but it's not something for me right now unless they change up some of the shades. But it's grand. We then have About Face. And initially when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I'm so excited because I really like About Face, but I can't really get them, which is a whole other thing. Right, this is their Blurred Matte Lip. Plump, plump, plump. Why have we as a society apparently all decided that we hate our lips? Why? I'm so, like, I just can't. I'm not able for that. I know that I have the lips that probably need to be plumped, but frankly, I just don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to spend my day thinking, why do my lips hurt? I have enough on my mind without that happening. But the shades themselves, they're really pretty. This is a soft matte liquid colour and apparently a flirty finish. So there's 6 shades and they're $18, which isn't bad. It's vegan and cruelty free and apparently cleanly formulated. I like the look of this. Like, I like it, but then when they tell me that it's fucking plumping, could you please not? The other thing that I'm going to say is, did you need to have 6 shades? Because I think maybe they could have gone down to 5 is because there's one or two that are a little bit too similar to each other and they weren't entirely necessary. Going through them, they look beautiful on the lips. There's something about this that looks very K-beauty to me, like it's very much like a lip blush. It's beautiful, looks stunning, but I feel like if something has plumping ingredients, I'm gonna have to be very careful about where I apply that, because if I apply that past the lip line, but maybe is this just me and this doesn't happen to other people, but I will irritate the skin around my lips that is not my lips, and then I'll just end up with a big red line, and I don't want that. Thank you very much. Even that more orangey shade, it looks grand. They've really gone for that lip blush thing. Like, they're grand. I'm gonna show you each of those shades. Just look at them. Do you see what I mean about some of them looking kind of similar? Like, I'd kind of struggle. I think kind of the more reddy purpley shades, they're more interesting to me, but that's just because I am who I am. Like, if you showed me these on the lips and said, do you want them? I'd say yes. But it's the plump bit that has me really confused. Like, even that last shade there, I was kind of surprised to see that on the lips because it's not as deep and dark as I thought it was going to be. So I feel a little bit like, by that, which is unusual because I normally love everything from About Face, but I just need brands to stop with the plumping. Please stop. Please stop. I'm not able for it. And I can't be the only one. Am I the only one? Am I the only one who's like upset about this? Because even like Issa May took their gorgeous glosses that I love and they made them plumping. They made them plumping, which is really upsetting for me. So now I'm like, okay, so when I'm gone, when I'm finished with these glosses, I can't get them again because now they're plumping and I don't want to do that to myself. I just want stuff that isn't plumping. I know, first world problems. For just €2 a month, you can get Teresa a lip product that isn't plumping. Teresa is fine. Teresa has loads of fucking lip products that don't plump. She'll be grand. I'm just being ridiculous at this point. But yeah, I don't get like the fixation on the plumping. It's not for me. It just is what it is. The other thing that I'm going to say, I don't get why Huda is coming out with a million things that aren't, in my opinion, necessary. This is the Easy Bake Setting Spray with 16-hour wear. You can get it in 2 sizes. There's the 100ml for €32 and there's the 30ml or the travel size for €17. They say it's a long-lasting setting spray that blurs pores. When did we hate pores? When did that start happening? That's such an interesting one to me. It controls shine and it locks makeup for 16 hours. It's non-comedogenic, alcohol-free, non-drying. Oh, I mean, as in like doesn't dry out your skin. I would assume it would dry. That's weirdly phrased. Fragrance-free, suitable for all skin types. Sure. Vegan and cruelty-free. Key claims are that 93% agree that the setting spray instantly blurred their pores. That's based on 30 people with various skin types and tones using Easy Bake Setting Spray after their normal foundation and powder. That's a terrible sample size. And you're just asking them about perception. Probably with I want to see the questions that you asked them. Was it a mixture of different questions? Did you do Bonferroni corrections? I have many questions on your staff. Because I'm like, if you ran a bunch of tests, the likelihood that, like, what's your p-value? What's your p-value? Is it 0.05? Because I mean, 0.05 is only arbitrarily agreed to as being the cutoff point. I've seen some people put like a much higher p-value of like 0.1, which is bananas to me. But like, I hope you did a Bonferroni correction based upon however many stats you were running. Sorry. I'll shut up now. And 90% agreed that the setting spray melts, blends and locks their makeup in place. Only 90%? Is that not what a setting spray is meant to do? What happened for the other 10%? Huh? And that was again with 30 people. So there were 3 people that went, no, it isn't melting, it isn't blending, it isn't locking. That's interesting. Is that just me? I think that's interesting. I'm going to say something contentious. And feel free to disagree with me, because safe space, etc. I think that Huda, it's happening, is a bit overblown when it comes to their complexion products. I just don't get the hype. I think they're fine. They're grand. They're not bad. But I don't sit here going, oh my god, they're the most amazing things in the entire world. I think they're grand. They're fine for the price point. But I also think there's better out there for lower prices. Yeah, I'm not getting this. It has absolutely no interest to me. I also feel like their rebrand has managed to make their logo, etc., look so much cheaper, and just it's nowhere near as luxe, which is kind of a bit sad, but yeah, just not for me, and that's all right. In further, what on earth has happened to the big brands? This is Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is their Smooth Blur Cream Contour Stick, and they're going to be $32 each. At the moment, Sephora US only has 3 of the shades. And you might be saying, oh, 3, well, that's fair enough. Out of 4, there's only 4 shades, and they're saying it's a contour, and quite frankly, it's not a contour. It's driving me a little bit nuts. It's a gel-like lightweight formula that blurs and blends with smooth, seamless coverage for natural definition. I don't even know what else to say beyond that. Look at the swatches. Look at them with your eyes. Let's talk about the shade Halftone. That's not a contour. Maybe it might be for a few skin tones. If that goes onto my skin, that's definitely not a contour. That's a bronzer. Same with shadow. And you know what? Same with core shadow and cast shadow. On some skin tones, it kind of looks a little bit contoury, but it's not for most. What's going on? What's going on? 4 contour shades. Are you effing kidding me? Are you kidding me? They did this recently with their goddamn foundation, and you know what? If it was other brands that are like new enough, or like their indie brands, etc., you kind of be like, okay, fair enough. They don't have the capital, whatever. Anastasia Beverly Hills has been around for years. They have the capital. They do. End of. They have the capital. So I don't know what it is that they're doing. I think that's really, really bad business practice. And okay, they might be like, oh, we want to work out the kinks. No, don't have it so that there's a full consumer base that is left as an afterthought. That is wild. That's insane, because you're out and out sending the message of you're not important to us. We don't care. And these contour sticks, apart from not being fucking contour sticks, are insane. Insane. 4 contour sticks. Like, I could understand with Shellwe because they're a smaller company, they've only just kind of started up, etc. They have half of what goddamn ABH has. What on earth? I actually don't think I can talk about this for too long, or I'm actually going to get a bit annoyed. Like, they've shown it on some of the faces, and it looks okay, kind of looks like contours, but I think they need to be more definitive about exactly who can wear these ones, because you can't, and maybe I'm just being really mean, you can't go ahead and say that these are contours, because they're not going to work for as contours for everyone. If they even like aligned this with their previous foundation and said, for those who wear this shade, this shade, this shade, this is going to be the contour shade for that. But it's not going to be the case that Halftone is going to work as a contour for everybody who has fair skin. It's not going to be that core shadow is going to be the contour for everyone who has more medium to deep skin. And even cast shadow, I'm sorry, but that is not deep enough. That is not deep enough for a deep dark skin tone. It's wild to me. And I know ABH has fantastic formulas. That's what kind of really annoys me. They do good stuff. But then when they do things like this, I'm like, what are you doing? What is even happening? Do you actually care? Have you fully checked out? Do you not want money? What's happening? I don't get it. I truly don't. I'm sure it'll function beautifully. I'm sure it'll wear beautifully. But it bothers me on such a deep level that it's not being made accessible. That whole parts of the population just wouldn't be able to get it. I don't understand that. Anyways, I need to not talk about it because it's getting me annoyed. And it is what it is. Nyx, I need to talk to you guys. You can't be coming out with a new release every single week. I get that you're affordable, but it's a bit ridiculous. This is their collaboration with Minecraft. And I don't know why, but I wouldn't have ever thought that Minecraft would have done a makeup collab. It just doesn't really make sense to me. It's a 10-piece collection now. You can get the full bundle if you're interested, but they have their Minecraft movie Cheeky Mob Balms. So they're like cheek balm things. They come in 3 shades. They're $12 each. They have their Minecraft movie Rare Highlight Balm. So they're 3 shades, $12 each. There's a Minecraft movie compact mirror for $20. That's the most expensive thing. And the Minecraft movie Fat Oil Slick Click for $11. And they come in 3 shades. I mean, I don't really play Minecraft, so I don't really know much about it. Let's talk about the blushes. I mean, the packaging actually kind of cute. I do appreciate that. The blushes themselves aren't really like flat out matte blushes. There's a bit more of a shimmer in them. They're grand. I again do appreciate the fact that NYX present their stuff without any retouching. I think that's really, really great. Like when we're looking at the shade Honeycomb Hottie, you can see it does pull up a bit of texture, which again, like that just happens, and I appreciate that they're showing this. I also appreciate that they're using models that have diverse skin textures, etc. I think that's great. Even the shade Oh She Bad, that's a fun one. I actually quite like that one, but in some it looks a little bit more matte, and then in some it looks really shiny, so I don't really know what it is that I'm looking at here. It's grand, but do you know, I'm all right. Then even the last one that they have, Golfing Around. Yeah, Golfing Around. I think that's probably the prettiest. I think that's really, really nice. I don't think they needed 3 shades, but I also don't think that they needed to do 3 weeks in a row of releases. I just think it's a bit much. In terms of the highlights, they have 3 quite interesting ones, like green, blue, and like a more orangey shade. Let's talk about the greeny shade. Again, I appreciate the fact that they're showing this on a diversity of skin tones. It doesn't really look wildly flattering on some, which is fine. That's just how it is, and I do appreciate that they're just showing it as it is so somebody could make an informed choice on that. I just thought I'd have liked that more than I did, but it's not for me. The blue toned one is way more like whitey silver. It does look like it might leave a little bit of a cast. I think if you have fair skin you might be okay, but deeper skin it's looking a little bit ashy. And then the last one that they have, which is Going Gold, that's okay. Even on a deeper skin tone it is kind of pulling a little bit more ashy. It does pick up a bit of texture, but that's kind of what you would see. In terms of the slick click things, how many of these do we need? There's quite a few of them at this point. I don't think they needed all 3 of these. We'll look at the more clear shade first. I mean, it's grand. That's Hunk City. It just looks like a clear balm, and it's $11, so it's not the worst, but I wouldn't be running off and getting it. Can I be really pedantic here? The shade Cherry Grove Girly. Oh, that does not look good on the lip. It does not look good on the lips. Like on the top left, it looks really odd, and then on the top right, it looks like it's coagulating, and just like, how long was she wearing it? It doesn't look good. Like, again, I appreciate that it's not retouching. I appreciate that. But there's also a point where it's like, if it doesn't look good, maybe you shouldn't sell it. Do you know what I mean? You know? It's not for me. And then even the very last shade, Redstone Mine, doesn't look like there's a lot of colour in that when you look at it on the fairer lip colours. Like, it looks kind of patchy. There's nothing about that that's wildly interesting to me. And then the mirror being the most expensive thing, $20, I assume because of all the cutout. I don't get it. I will say I'm not a Minecraft person, so I don't kind of get the IP. It's not for me. My major issue at this point is just the crazy amount of production. NYX does not need to do this much stuff. They really, really don't. Like, if I looked at the last couple of months and how much NYX has done, like even in terms of their Christmas stuff, they did so much Christmas stuff. It's too much. It's way too much. You do not need this many highlighters. You do not need this many blushes. You do not need this many slick things. You don't. End of. You just don't need that many. And I'm gonna be honest, I again appreciate the fact that they're not retouching things, but some of them just flat out don't look good, you know? So maybe take some time and reformulate some of these so they look a little bit better, rather than trying to come out with something every single week. We don't need it. We have other options. Just please breathe is all I'm asking. It's not for me, obviously, but I don't know. Are the people who are into Minecraft really going to be going for this? Who is that demographic? That's what, like, what was the market research that brought them to that? There's a few questions in my head. We then have Charlotte Tilbury. Oh my god, Chazza, it's been a while. And of course, can you guess it? New additions to the Pillow Talk family. Of course, because it's been a while since we talked about Pillow Talk. Oh my god. Right, this is apparently coming soon. I don't have an exact date, but it is what it is. So there's Pillow Talk Soulmates face palette, $50, and they come in 2 types. So there's Peach Soulmate and Pink Soulmate. There's the Pillow Talk KISSING lipstick for $34, and that comes in the shades Love Talk and Kiss Talk. And then there's Matte Revolution lipstick for $34, and that comes in the shades Dream Talk and Naughty Talk. What do I even say? I'm gonna say it, the packaging. Cheap AF. I'm sorry. Chazza, how How are you charging $50 for those duos? And it looks like it looks like a child's compact. Like even the jewel in it looks like you just glued it on. It looks like, you know, when you go to like, I don't know if you guys have it, but we have things like the €2 shop or Euro Giant or whatever. And you'll find that you have like these little compacts or like little shoes for kids, and they have these really cheap gems that are plastic. Is that what she's put in there? Because is that a plastic gem? F off. Do not charge luxury prices for cheap ass packaging. I'm sorry. That looks so bad. That looks childish. What grown human is going to take that out of their bag? Oh, that's so bad. What is she doing? Chazza. No. Oh, I don't get it. We'll talk about the lipsticks. They're grand. They're fine. I'm 99.9% certain if we looked at her existing lipsticks, we'd probably have those. And this is, by the way, more of a sneak peek than anything else, but I like her lipstick formula. I'm going to say that I do, but I'm not going to buy that packaging with that weird little plastic leady thing on it. I'm not paying $34 for that. Absolutely not. Do you know what? If Nyx did that, I'd kind of understand that. But this, I think the thing that really gets me is that kind of blush highlighty duo. $50 for that. That's obscene to me. Like, they look okay. They look fine, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, here, take my money. What is happening? What is happening? Charlotte, what is going on? Do you remember when she came out with the weird perfumes? Like, is everything all right? It's been a long time since I've seen anything from Charlotte Tilbury that I've kind of been like, yeah, I like this. I do think she does solid products. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, everything she does is trash. I actually think she does some really good stuff. I think her lip liners are really good. I think her lipsticks are really good. Beyond that, I think there's a lot of other things that are just overhyped. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Those are my feelings. My feelings are valid and your feelings are valid. But I just feel like that price point is insane for what that is. And I did, by the way, take those pictures from Trend Mood. But yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't get the price points on this. We then have another sneak peek. This was just kind of outlined not that long ago. This is Lethal Cosmetics, and this is their Spring 25 collection. Features soft luminous pastels infused with high-tech shimmer for a futuristic glow. Now, I don't have a huge amount of information because they haven't given all of their pictures yet, but there's new pixeled lip gloss and then there's new pure metal shades. So the pixeled shades of the lip glosses, they're €15.50 each. They will apparently do a bundle, but they haven't said what the bundle price is. There's Frame, which is a silver holographic glass. Patch, a multi-chrome glass that shifts pink, gold, green and blue. Sprite, a purple gloss with holographic sparkle. Matrix, a black gloss with holographic sparkle. And Bit, a rose gold gloss with holographic sparkle. And then the new pure metals, there's the shade Quartz, which is a multi-chrome with hollow effect that shifts coral, gold and green. Jade, a multi-chrome with hollow effect that shifts green, silver and pink. Rhodonite, which is a multi-chrome with hollow effects that shifts magenta, orange and gold. Fluorite, a multi-chrome with hollow effects that shifts lavender, blue and orange. Opal, a multi-chrome with hollow effects that shifts blue, purple and aqua. And Zeolite, a multi-chrome with hollow effect that shifts turquoise, pink and gold. And they are €18 each, but there will apparently be a bundle. It's going to be available on the 27th of March at 10 AM CST. And I don't have much information in terms of swatches, etc. But they did show, firstly, when they were sneak peeking at the gloss, one of the glosses, and I'm going to show you the video now. Oh my god, that's gorgeous for €15.50. Right, remember how I was just saying about how I love the SMA glosses, but I'm really annoyed about how they have the plumping thing in them and I don't want the plumping thing? This might be my replacement. I don't hate this. They've also shown one of the shades of that pure metal on the holochrome of it. The magpie in me is just sitting there going, yay, sparkles. It looks beautiful. It does. It's been a while since I got anything from Lethal, but you know what? I think this is a good collection. It's curated well. There isn't a million and one things. I like this. I do. I'm wondering, will this all come to Beauty Bay? Because if it does, I'd be a little bit more inclined to get it. I think it's a nice little collection. The very last thing that we're looking at is actually a collaboration between Nyx Cosmetics and Face Lace. I think this is so smart. I can totally understand the link between Face Lace and Nyx Cosmetics. It makes so much sense to me. Face Lace were kind of a big thing during the pandemic. People were like sticking them onto their face and they were really, really cool. Now, the owner of Face Lace has said that these ones are multi-use, that if you do put them on to like a heavy face of makeup, you can take it off and you can re-glue it. It's not a big issue. If you're putting it on with no makeup. You don't even need to re-glue it for up to 5 times. So you could reuse these. I think this is so smart. This is launching Friday 21st of March, 6 p.m. So hopefully I'll have better pictures for you guys for that time. But my goodness, I love the idea of this. I don't have any information at the moment in terms of prices, but hopefully by the time I'm editing, I'll probably be editing those in last. But I think this makes so much sense with Glisten Cosmetics. I'm also an affiliate with Glisten Cosmetics, so I'm wondering if my code will get you money off. It's just my name, Teresa, but my gorgeous friend Daniela also has a code. It's Cosmic Peaches. That'll also get you 20% off. So if you're interested in that, there you go. I'm intrigued. I don't think that's a bad one at all. I quite like it. But my friends, that's it. There was a lot of stuff to talk about this week. It was terrifying. We really had to white knuckle it in. There was a lot of stuff to talk about, but I do have my favourite comment, and this is from NDO355, who said, eyeshadow palette smog is a very relatable term for me. Yeah, I am nothing if not a relatable influencer. Yeah. I hate the term. I'm not an influencer. I influence nobody to do anything. Yeah, that's correct, because that wasn't a double negative. Phew. But yeah, that, my gorgeous friends, is it. There's a lot of stuff this week. And I'm going to be honest, there's not that much that is genuinely, like, calling to me. The Gloss Gods, for sure. Absolutely. And maybe the Lethal lip glosses. But bar that, I don't think there's a lot that I need. Even those I don't need. But I don't think there's anything that is really calling to me, that is making me go, you go off and you spend your money. But my gorgeous friends, let me know what you think. Do please like, comment and subscribe. I haven't filmed us watching Sundays yet. I'll look around, I'll find something. I'm sure I will. I have lots of things at my disposal. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell and do please share, because sharing is caring, except of course for STDs, in which case, just wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.